In this video, you're going to discover the success principles of the top 0.01% of coaches. So if you've ever wondered what the most successful coaches on the planet do differently, then this video is for you. And make sure to stay until the end because the 9th principle is the most neglected, but the most impactful. So let's dive right in. Principle number 1 is to be quick to implement. What I mean by that is the moment that you learn something new, even if you're not an expert yet, you want to apply it immediately. So let's say that you're learning about copywriting, or you're learning about doing videos like this on YouTube, or you're learning a new sales technique. Go implement it right away. And that's what every great coach who's made a huge impact and made a lot of money and experienced a lot of freedom does effectively. The ones that struggle are the ones that are frozen by paralysis by analysis, right? They're overanalyzing, they're afraid of rejection, they're afraid of failure. The successful ones like you rip the Band-Aid off, they do the thing regardless of the outcome, and then by doing that, when they stack hours upon days, upon months, upon years of that mindset, that's when the magic happens. So be quick to implement. Principle 2 is a focus on solving one problem for one person. Yes, this is about that word that we all don't know how to pronounce, niche, whatever it's called. It's narrowing your focus. It's not trying to be everything to everyone. The successful coaches on the planet have identified this is the person I serve and this is the problem I solve, and that's it. And that's where they start. Maybe they grow and they expand that over time, but in the first 1 to 3 years, they are hyper focused. And if you want to fast track yourself to 6 figures, to 7 figures and beyond, the more specific you are in the person that you serve and the problem you solve, the more successful you will be. The third step principle of these successful coaches is to have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. This idea comes from the great book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. And she talks about how certain people have growth mindsets, which is someone who's open-minded. They're willing to learn new things versus fixed mindset. And I'll give you an example of this. Many coaches have this limiting belief that no matter what they do, they suck at technology. They don't understand marketing, or they can't figure out funnels and tech and email systems. That's a closed mindset. That is not a growth mindset. A growth mindset is someone who may recognize that they suck at these things, but they're willing to learn. They're open-minded to develop those skills. I can give you the best training on the planet around tech and funnels and systems, but if you have this belief that you will not let go of, reminding yourself every day how bad you are at these things and how much you hate them and how much you're unwilling to learn them, then no amount of coaching or accountability can help you. So make sure to remain open-minded, growth-minded to all the different skills that you get to learn as a coach. The fourth principle is committing to mastering your craft. It shocks me, honestly, how few coaches have invested a lot of time and money in developing their skills as a coach. Many of them just go get certified, or they just go learn a marketing technique and they call themselves coaches. They actually don't do the work required to build the skills necessary to actually deliver results. So the 0.01% of coaches on the planet, they constantly work with coaches, develop skills, hire mentors, go to masterminds, those things to master their craft. And they do the work every single day, right? There's days when you don't feel like it. So what? You show up and you do it anyway. And that mindset will differentiate you from so many other coaches out there. The fifth step is becoming a student of marketing, sales, and systems. And this is not why most coaches want to get into coaching. We get into coaching because we want to help people, right? We want to change lives. But the reality is that in order to do that, we need people to know that we exist. And that means that you got to develop the skills of marketing and sales and systems. And so it's really important as you develop your coaching skills and master that craft that you also become a student of these other things. Read books, listen to podcasts, join webinars, attend events, do these things to learn these skills so that you become great, not just at delivering results, but actually generating leads and getting clients. Because if you don't do that, it doesn't matter how good of a coach you are if nobody knows that you exist. The sixth step is to confront their inner imposter. This is what every great 0.01% coach does, is they don't not have the imposter syndrome like you have or like I have. They just face it. They confront it. They move through it. They don't let it stop them. And it's okay if you feel nervous about posting that first video or sending that email or reaching out to that network of yours. But you get to do it anyway. And if you don't, then you're not going to help people. And so recognize that, okay, cool, I'm suffering from imposter syndrome right now. I don't feel confident in this moment, and so what? I'm going to do it anyway. because fear is the only thing that gets smaller the more you run towards it. Write that down, comment that below the video. That one, if you just take that quote away from this video, that is valuable. Fear is the only thing that gets smaller the more you run towards it. The more you run away from your imposter syndrome, the more you feel nervous about getting on camera and you procrastinate and postpone creating video, the bigger that fear and that anxiety will get. The seventh principle of 0.01% coaches is to consistently do the work every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Do I feel like sending my email to that list every single day? No, I don't. Do I feel like making that video every single day? No, I don't. But guess what? I'm going to do it anyway. Why? Because it's not about me. It's about who I'm doing this for and why I'm doing this. And when you make that commitment, consistency is what differentiates you from everyone else. That's the one thing that you look at the 0.01% of coaches on the planet and you see what they're doing differently. Yes, they may have the skills that you don't have yet, but they've developed those skills over time because they show up and do the work every single day. The eighth principle of success is to view themselves as a marketer first and a coach second. Now, this frustrated me when I first started. A mentor of mine told me to do this, and I was like, what are you talking about? I don't need to be a marketer. I'm just gonna be a great coach. And then a month went by, and 3 months went by, and 6 months went by, and no clients came in. So instead, I trusted my mentor, and I said, okay, you know what? You win. Let me figure out how to be a marketer. And I learned those things, and I developed those skills, and I committed to doing that. And then clients started to appear, and I started to get clients. And they started to get results. But if I wasn't going to learn marketing, then no one knew that I existed and there was no way for me to get clients. So I just want to remind you that you want to view yourself as it's as important, if not more important, to develop the marketing skills as you develop the coaching skills. You want to do both of those things. Do not neglect marketing. And if you tell me and you watch this video that you aren't going to learn how to market, then it's going to be very strong chance that you may not succeed at this unless you partner with somebody else who is a marketer. So just know that that's an option, but look at the most successful coaches on the planet. Tony Robbins is one of them. He is a brilliant marketer. The ninth principle is under promise and over deliver. This is the one that I wanted you to stick around for because this is the most neglected. Unfortunately, people picked up Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Offers, and they blindly followed the text in those pages. And again, Alex is brilliant. He's really smart. He's really hardworking. But there's all these coaches out there that are over promising. They're coming up with that irresistible offer that they're giving all these claims to, and they're not actually fulfilling on their promise. And this is the fastest race to the bottom. This may work the first couple weeks or months that you try this, but over time, the world finds out. And so you want to flip that script. And instead of over-promising, you want to under-promise and over-deliver because the opposite is what's happening right now. Most coaches are over-promising. They're following this great way to make an irresistible offer, but they're just dropping the ball when it comes to fulfillment. And just make sure you don't make that mistake because that will erode your confidence. It will lead to buybacks. It will lead chargebacks. It will lead to clients that are not happy. And you will be way more successful, far more faster, even if it's a slower growth by under-promising and over-delivering. The 10th and final step is they invest in their own personal and professional development. Not just professional development. I talked about that earlier. Yes, you want to hire business coaches. Yes, you want to develop those business skills, but you also want to work with therapists. Yes, you want to go and work through some of the childhood trauma that you've experienced, right? Because those things may be holding you back. As you grow your coaching business, you've got to learn to let go of control and trust others and delegate. And sometimes it's less about developing those business skills and more about developing those personal skills of self-trust, of asking for help, of letting go of that self-reliant pattern, right? And so investing in your personal and your professional is really important because let's be honest, how could you ask somebody to hire you as their coach if you haven't hired your own? How could you expect somebody to invest in themselves if you're not investing in yourself? It's really critical. I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in mentors over the years in a variety of areas, and now I have zero hesitancy about asking somebody who I feel I can help to invest in themselves and work with me. So those are the 10 success principles of the 0.01% of coaches. Now, these are my 10 principles of success, but I'm sure you have your own success principles. So drop me a comment below and let me know one successful trait or principle that you've seen the most successful coaches online embody. Leave that comment now. Now, before I wrap up this video, I just have a quick favor to ask. I recently discovered that just very few of of you who watch these videos subscribe to my channel. So could you do me a favor, and if you got value from this or any previous videos, just go ahead and click subscribe right now so that you never miss a future video. And once you've subscribed, make sure to check out my next video that reveals how to become a 6-figure coach in 7 steps. If you want to fast track yourself, click up here in the corner, watch this video, and I'll see you in the next video. My name is Peter Scott, reminding you to be here, act now, and fear less.